It is a beautiful day here in Mooresville, North Carolina. I just happened to be in the area, so I figured we could pay our friend Matt Tifft a visit at Live Fast Motorsports. In case you missed it, Out of the Groove will be riding with the number 78 at Darlington on May 14th. So since we're here, let's go stop by the shop and see how the team prepares for a race weekend. Live Fast Motorsports. Let's see if anyone's home. Oh, look, there I am in the reflection. Oh, and there's Matt.
Oh, hey, Eric, how are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. We're here to check out the race shop if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, come on in.
I like this. You have like a balcony.
Yeah, we have a loft.
Romeo and Juliet style.
Yes, absolutely. So like in our shop here, we have Live Fast Motorsports on the left side here. That's Rodney. Rodney, you want to wave? Then on the right side here is PJ McLeod
Xfinity
Motorsports.
cars, yeah.
Yep, so we split the shop down the middle essentially. Obviously a lot more Xfinity cars, and you can actually see up here on the Raptors is a lot more Xfinity chassis. Of course, on this side we don't just have 7 cars, and now while I'm not in the ownership group of the Xfinity team, we obviously share the offices and the shop here, so there is a lot of interchanging things across the deal here.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, there's no like physical line here, so like how often do things cross?
Yeah, what's the, was it like Parent Trap or something where you have like the thing drawn in the sand? No, it's pretty cool. And, you know,
Civil War breaks out in here?
Yeah, no, it's all good. And, you know, like Pat Trice and then they run this side and it's very smooth between the two parts of it. And out back, I'll take it back there too. We have the loading dock back there, so all the trucks come in. So everyone has to work together to make sure they're loading on time with each other. So, you know, because we do share the shop, we got to make sure logistically that we are in sync, and obviously works out well because the Xfinity schedule is different from ours.
I like how even when there's not a onboard camera, you still have the little piece jutting out. Ooh, look at the interior. There's no seat in it. It's in show car mode, that's what I say.
Yeah, and you know, like right now we're going between a couple drivers, right? So between Alfredo, Balicki, BJ, we're kind of rotating seats and getting their stuff swapped on there. And sometimes we're changing inserts and doing that, so we're kind of making sure they're comfortable. And as you know, between aluminum and carbon seats too, we're swapping that, make sure everything's prepped and comfortable for those guys, depending on what their preference is.
And you mentioned this car last ran at Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is our bright neon green Circle B diecast car, so we'll swap this one over for the pretty yellow and purple colors.
I'm excited. Oh my gosh. I feel like she's indecent. I'm not supposed to be seeing her like this.
So right now, like these cars, the main difference from like this, the Xfinity cars and the Gen 6 cars is the driver really sits a lot lower. So, you know, the digital dash is up here.
I never noticed how far forward, or I guess forward, the digital dash is.
And like the driver sits so far down, so your vantage point is like a super late model. You're really sitting very far down in the car. So visually, I got to sit in one of these last year at some point, and you're looking up. Like, it doesn't matter, like I'm a fairly tall guy for a driver, and I always feel like it's kind of looking down, and now you're just like kind of staring up. The nose is fairly high. Your perception as driver, you know, it's really important that they have the rear view camera they have. I think it's in the other car here, but it is really hard to see. Like it's amazing that they don't run over each other like late models do a lot, because it's a totally different viewpoint. Yeah,
this car's built for people like me. My head would be in a normal position like an old car.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me too, like how different the switches and gate. I mean, obviously with the dash, the digital dash, but just how far we've come from the layouts in these things. I mean, it's truly unrecognizable from 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, hear a lot of guys talk about that from jumping in these cars. Like Alfredo came in a few weeks ago, and while he'd been full-time at Cup before, and Blicky, same thing. These are just, they're so different. And I mean, I know that's what Nexion was supposed to do, but it truly is a completely different Cup car.
And this car, you said, just got back from Bristol Dirt, so
yes, this was our Bristol
Dirt. It needed
car.
some intensive cleaning, huh?
It did, yes. Then if you see the camera for NASCAR, what you see from some of the replays, and if you go on NASCAR.com and look at
it's mounted here,
that's where it's shooting out of, yeah.
Oh, really? I've always said what they need to do, like I like that they have cameras in all the cars now, and they live stream them, but they need to make them like 360 cameras, so if you have like a VR headset, you could sit shotgun, look over your favorite driver during the race.
You know, this was a big discussion last year, was where we had the exhaust.
I was going to ask,
We shoot out the exhaust now from the left side.
Originally it was going to be back here.
Yes,
and they were worried about the heat that it was going to generate underneath.
Yes. So it was really far back, and then a lot of the heat from the headers was cooking the drivers. So we moved up here, quite a bit difference for the drivers for the heat. You know, with the mufflers, we've obviously gotten the cars hotter again, so they're working on that. But it's still a bit of a concern. So, but yeah, we had to move them up. But that's one of the interesting things about this car now is you have when we let out the gas. I think it's pretty cool looking. You have the fire shooting out both sides, which is
it does look cool. Yeah.
You can kind of figure out if you're in BJ McLeod's office here. So you're gonna have skulls there. You're gonna
branding is on point.
Yeah, you're gonna have the Joker.
Oh,
you're
nice.
Some more skulls. You definitely know when you've showed up at BJ McLeod's office. So
I like it.
He and I do split the office here, but you definitely figure out. Of course, the Oakley cases. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool office.
I need to upgrade my office. I don't have any windows in my office, and it's a little depressing sometimes.
Sometimes you get lost. So I don't know if it's quite productive enough or not. I'm not sure. It could be better if you're not having windows. You do have the guys out here, and you hear them working out there. And these are tinted, but like you do hear them get along, and or not some days. But
they can come knock on the window right here if they have a problem. You know.
But then you have like the days where I'm trying to be on a Zoom call over here, and like you hear the welding, and cutting, and stuff out there. So it's funny. Like, some people would think it's a bad thing, but then they're like, you know, I'll kind of go back and say, like, guys, you know, we're talking to a race team. They kind of think it's cool now. So.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, I would welcome some background noise, and I
it's
usually
the
say
ambiance,
that.
Right?
Exactly.
So if you're looking at Team Live Fast on social media, this is the voice of Team Live Fast.
Nice.
So this is Cora.
Hi, Cora.
Hi.
She does an awesome job, but like it's cool because normally, you know, she's behind the keyboard and doing that stuff, but
It looks like she's busy right now. I feel like we're interrupting her.
I know, we probably are, yeah. Kenny Schrader once said that I'm a blister. I said, what is that, man? I was like 16. I was coming down to Charlotte, and he goes, well, you know what a blister does, right? I was like, no. He goes, well, it shows up after work's done. I was like, oh, come on.
Is this like, you know, like you go to Washington D.C. and it's like this is where, you know, the president signed this or something. You know, what are some big deals, if any, that have happened in this room?
I mean, so the building's been here, or it's been, you know, BJ McLeod Motorsports has been in this shop since 2016, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, BJ, if you're watching this. But so, you know, a lot of stuff has happened here. 2020 was when we got Live Fast going. So obviously the formation of the company was talked about in here. I think we actually like really formed it in like the Longhorn or something like that in Mooresville.
Nice.
Maybe it's Cornelius. Anyways, yeah, lots of important meetings here between budgets, team stuff, charter stuff, and really the big thing for us is, you know, we are always trying to get better and run better, be more competitive. And while we are, you know, we're not a big team by any means, this is where everything goes on, right? And this is they talk about war rooms on TV with the engineers and all that. While we don't have that, you know, necessarily, for us and the team and for management here, this is truly it. This is where the big decisions are made for the Live Fast side and the BJMM side. So this is an important room for sure.
Is this like where the wrap that we see on the final car? That's where this comes from?
Yeah.
So how long do you think it takes to do a full car?
So it takes us about 5 hours to print them. And then it takes us about 4.5 hours to put it on the car every week. So
it's a lot of ink.
Yeah, there is a lot of ink that goes through it.
When Lauren and Ashley come to print these, a lot of people don't realize that every element of the cars like has to go obviously from the sponsor, but then it has to get approved by NASCAR to make sure it goes to the car. So, but sometimes we have design elements, making sure that, you know, when Lauren prints this, she has enough contrast between the numbers and the size of the car, and everything has to be symmetrical. So everything you see on the race car has to make sure they can be seen by the fans and NASCAR to make sure that it can be printed, because if it's not and we go ahead and jump the gun and print, they can be like, nope, you can't do this, and then it gets them in trouble. So we don't want to do that.
Well, Matt, this was an awesome tour, great behind the scenes look. I was telling you, I don't think I've ever been in certainly not a NASCAR Cup Series shop, like a shop floor before. So I really appreciate the tour. Thanks for taking the time to give us a little behind the scenes look.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, loved having you. I certainly, you know, enjoy showing people what we do here, but we would like to actually have a car and show up to Darlington. So if you're here, we cannot go to work, so please leave.
I've understood. I don't want that either. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
See you in a couple weeks.
Bye. See you.
In all seriousness though, I really appreciate Matt Tifft, the team at Live Fast, for allowing me to come invade their space for a little bit. Be sure to watch out for the Live Fast Motorsports number 78 Daily Downforce Out of the Groove sponsored Chevrolet at Darlington on Sunday, May 14th. You can watch it live on FS1.